He's got anything that's gonna poke and stick.
¿Tienes algo que puede hacer daño a mi oficial aquí, como un cuchillo, drogas, pistola, como así? Yo no ando con nada.
A shoplifting call, the suspect already gone. What follows raises 4 constitutional questions and 1 procedural failure that could unravel the prosecution. The pursuit begins with flight. Under Illinois versus Wardlow, decided by the Supreme Court in 2000, unprovoked flight from a reported crime scene constitutes reasonable, articulable suspicion sufficient to justify an investigative stop under Terry versus Ohio without any additional evidence. Terry established the constitutional floor. Specific, articulable facts, not a hunch, are required to detain. Probable cause, the higher standard for full arrest, is met here by the shoplifting dispatch plus the subject's confirmed flight and apprehension.
Buenas. Bueno. Yo soy oficial del departamento de policía. Nosotros aquí tenemos cámaras, está grabando todo.
Sí.
¿A dónde está viniendo?
De aquí,
¿A dónde?
de la pared aquí.
¿Qué?
De la pared no.
Ok, pero ¿dónde estabas antes?
No, vine aquí al lector, está aquí.
¿Cuál?
Este que está aquí.
Ok.
Sí.
¿No fuiste a Home Depot? ¿A Home Depot?
Yo no,
¿No? ¿Está cierto?
no.
¿Estás mintiendo?
No, estoy mintiendo.
Sé honesto porque tenemos cámara.
¿Qué?
Ok. So yo voy a preguntar otra vez.
Sí.
¿Estaba de Home Depot?
Sí, yo fui aquí
A Home Depot, ¿sí?
Sí.
Ok. All right. ¿Tienes tu identificación?
No.
¿Tenés
Yeah, take your backpack off. Take it off.
No me hagan nada, bro.
Tú vas a poner en el piso para nosotros.
Sí,
¿Ok?
definitely heavy. Right. Yellow blanket should be one. There should be one in there. It's in my safe. Oh, that's where it is. He's got anything that's going to poke and stick.
¿Tienes algo que puede hacer daño a mi oficial aquí, como un cuchillo, drogas, pistola, algo como así?
Yo no ando con nada de eso.
Sí, no.
No?
No, yo no ando con cuchillo, no ando con nada de eso. Mucho caca.
Okay. Yendo, okay? Just hold it in case he tries to be cute again.
No, it's good. Good. Let it go. So this is moving down to you. I got it. Takes off and puts it on the ground.
He's got he's got pockets on.
Yeah, I just put it in my pocket. How many pairs of sweatpants does he have on?
¿Cuántos pantalones tú tienes?
Tengo solamente pantalones nada más.
He's saying one.
The same one?
Yeah.
Está chupando, cuidado.
There's no pockets in these sleeves or anything?
This one here, I think it just goes into there.
Got another pocket over here, it looks like, but I can't get to it. There's a zipper.
There's a zipper, it's rolled up. Here. You have the zipper up here. You have any Spanish speakers at the station?
Santana.
Okay.
They're over there already with another shop.
Yeah, I know.
This guy's probably with them.
¿Tú tienes esa identificación?
No,
Dice no. Alright.
Saying no.
Vamos a necesitar toda tu información. Si mentiras es
no,
más.
se la doy.
¿Entendés? Yo
Se la
hice
doy.
una chance. Solamente uno.
Ok.
Para
Yo
hacer
se la
todo
doy.
la verdad.
Yo
¿Ok?
se lo doy, yo se lo doy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paraphernalia.
The search of the suspect's person is where this case gets legally complex. Officers found multiple layers of sweatpants, a documented retail theft concealment technique. That discovery triggered 3 independent legal authorities. First, Terry authorizes a protective frisk for weapons when the subject may be armed. Second, Minnesota versus Dickerson, 1993, adds the Plainfield Doctrine contraband immediately identifiable through touch during a lawful frisk may be seized without a warrant. Third, United States versus Robinson, 1973, extends authority further a search incident to a lawful arrest covers full, warrantless examination of all clothing and person. Deferring the shoe search to the station is lawful under Illinois versus Lafayette, 1983. The inventory search doctrine authorizes a complete search of an arrested person's property at booking as an administrative procedure, no warrant required. The identification exchange presents the encounter's sharpest Fifth Amendment issue. Officers warned the subject there was only one chance to be truthful, implying that cooperation produces a better outcome. Conditional leniency can render any subsequent statement involuntary. Involuntary statements are inadmissible, regardless of their content. More critically, no Miranda advisement appears in the transcript. Miranda versus Arizona, 1966, requires that before custodial interrogation begins, the subject must be advised of the right to remain silent and the right to counsel. Once physically secured, the subject was in custody. Questions about location, travel, and identity directed at that point constitute interrogation, and any responses face suppression. The subject's non-English primary language adds a 14th Amendment layer. Due process requires that rights advisements be communicated in a language the detainee can reasonably understand. Bilingual delivery is not courtesy, it is constitutional procedure. Force is governed by Graham versus Connor, 1989. Reasonableness from the officer's perspective at the moment, not in hindsight. The offense was nonviolent. Confirmed flight and verbal noncompliance justify controlled physical restraint that analysis holds. Active warrants discovered at booking carry independent legal weight. They constitute separate probable cause for continued detention and retroactively reinforce the lawfulness of the initial stop, regardless of how the theft and resisting charges ultimately resolve.
When we get back, we got to check his shoes because he's got crack pipe in there, so just gotta make sure. I'm gonna check him a little better when we get there. What? Yeah.
Did you check here?
Yeah,
as long as
I gotta check him better when we get back because he's got 2 pairs. We're gonna have to find that out when we get back. Did you get it? Did he get it?
Yeah.
Whoever he is, whoever else. Already got the blanket down.
Yeah. Yeah, hospital va venir à la station policière. Yeah, just drop that. Get hand sanitizer.
Got my drawers.
Got gloves for me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I grabbed another pair because I ripped mine.
He's got a pair of regular shorts. And I think he's got,
keep the sweats.
I think he's got drawers underneath.
Unless it was leaky. You might. The Shepherd doesn't want to talk about proof, so. Up to you. I'll check the other side. You can check on this one. Yeah, well, yeah, you used to work.
Officers B+, the legal foundation is sound pursuit, frisk, extended clothing search, deferred station search, all supported by established authority. Bilingual communication and contact cover deployment reflect competent training. 2 procedural gaps, no Miranda advisement before substantive questioning, and a leniency-framed identification request that introduces voluntariness exposure. Suspect, C+. Flight converted a single misdemeanor into resisting arrest, a self-inflicted charge with no legal upside. Withholding identification added friction without constitutional protection. Compliance after apprehension prevented further escalation, and pre-existing warrants confirmed the legal exposure here was not created by this encounter. Department B. Bilingual field operations and multi-officer coordination reflect sound practice. The Miranda gap and absence of a confirmed primary language advisement are procedural failures, and procedural failures are the category most likely to affect prosecutorial outcomes on otherwise solid arrests. 3 takeaways. Flight compounds charges without improving legal standing. Miranda is the constitutional gateway to admissible statements. Treat it as optional and lose the statements. Layered clothing searches are fully defensible in court when grounded in Terry Dickerson and Robinson. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our second channel, Street Bodycam, for even more police interaction and courtroom content.